information about all the different fields and how to get started with your career in technology. We're going to be talking about information technology, computer science, computer engineering, and within that, we're also going to touch the bases in other more specialized areas and give you more of an insight of what's to come here as you get prepared for your career. One of the first few things that we wanted to touch first was the expectations that we have or that we do not know that we're going to have later in the future. It is my understanding that a lot of you might be freshmen and you're starting your first semester here at FIU. You chose a field in technology and maybe you have an idea of what you're going for. You already did your research. Maybe not. You don't know exactly what you're going to see in the next few semesters that you're going to be an FIU student. So within that, we're going to talk about imposter syndrome, which is one of the hugest things in our fields that a lot of us go through, even after we graduate and get into our different fields and we start working already. So there's also expectations that we might have within our specific fields, whether it is computer science, computer engineering, or information technology. So hopefully by the end of tonight, you'll have a clear idea of the path that you want to take. And of course, you'll be more confident in approaching us or approaching advisors or more resource or take advantage of the resources here at FIU. So before moving forward with the different fields that we have here, let's talk about a little bit more of imposter syndrome. Maybe you haven't experienced it yet, maybe you have experienced it to a lesser degree, but imposter syndrome is basically when we feel that we do not have the required skill set, we do not have the confidence to do a task, to be in a specific role, or to be part of a specific team because we ourselves are constantly telling us that we don't know this or we can do this yet. And that type of mindset, it takes away from us realizing that the experience and the knowledge that we have been getting from the past months, the past years, all throughout to this point, it's enough for you to have that confidence to tackle any task or to tackle any role. And as an IT major, I see that a lot, whereas we go from learning the basics of how to troubleshoot a computer and doing more specific stuff, whether it's in cybersecurity or database administration, and it hits you getting more deep into those fields where you are, I don't really think I can handle this. So we cannot give ourselves mental block as to how to proceed or how to get the required knowledge. Imposter syndrome will stop you from asking questions to your peers or to your mentors. It will also take away from opportunities to learn. So hopefully we can traverse to this, and even as you move forward in the future semesters, we can be here to help you out whenever you have questions about this or whenever you're feeling that you're lacking the confidence to tackle any task. We'll be here to help you out and hopefully make you realize that you are definitely capable to do anything that you can uh, set the goal for yourself. I'm going to pass it along now to Alejandro. He's going to be talking about the expectations and the different roles within computer science.
Thank you, Andres, for that brief introduction. Again, my name is Alejandro Martinez. And before I expand on computer science, well, I have to say that Andres and my colleague Armani will expand on computer engineering and IT. And a lot of the fields that we're going to see today on the slide, they are similar to what probably Andres and Armani are going to say, but I guess we're seeing the big picture of technology. I think that before being a freshman, if I happen to be a freshman today, I would like to understand why computer science happens to be so relevant before I even dig on the classes. And I think that this pandemic showed us that the relevance of staying connected, the relevance of of being able to still do banking transactions that need software engineers, the relevant of being able to communicate through Zoom. And not only that, but uh, I think that every company, even if they're not in the tech industry, they're merging to be a software company. Either they're putting a website or making a mobile app, but they are also recollecting data and they have to analyze this data. So even before understanding if computer science is just coding, I think it's relevant to understand that the studying computer science today is extremely relevant, and really the sky is the limit because you can go in so many different fields within computer science. So I guess today I'm going to do a brief introduction of the fields that you could most likely go if you study computer science. And we decided to start with software engineering. Software engineering is broad itself, and we segmented it in three: web and mobile development. Web and mobile development, as I was saying before, if a company is providing a service or a product as a web, could be Facebook, could be Airbnb, any of the big companies in tech, but also any small company that wants to have a website or wants to have a type of an app. Usually the languages for this are, well, in mobile development are Swift and Java, and anything for the web could be from JavaScript to Python to Node.js to React, and it's very broad. It's it's one of the fields within software engineering. Then I wanted to merge a little bit on what's machine learning, AI, and data science, and I guess it happens to be more of the field that I'm related. And at the beginning of the presentation, when I said the sky is the limit, so myself, I'm really into understanding investments from every point of view, and that requires a lot of analysis of data, a lot of understanding charts from left and right, and also coding, right? Because you have to merge a lot of things and a lot of data frames. So that's from my point of view, but ML and AI can also be used for computer vision, and it could be used for so many use cases out there that, again, saying that you just have to find a use case, and with all this libraries tackle that problem that you happen to have in hand. Another huge industry is augmented reality and virtual reality in game development. Well, you see it in game development, but you can see it in so many other applications. I guess my main point is that we have problems out there, and we are going to have problems, either socially, virtually, or whatever type of problem. And most of them can be tackled with computer science. Most problems in science can be tackled with computer vision. So going back is extremely relevant to study this subject today. Also, if you happen to be in computer science, something, a route that you can take is to do research. I'm currently doing my master's degree in computer science, and I'm doing actually research on natural language processing with a professor. And through that, you can also get scholarships and well, even you don't only have to go for a university, but you also can go for a big company and do research. So it's definitely a path that you can take. And the engineering management well, first engineering management, I think this is more of an advanced position already within computer science. It's great that if you happen to be a software engineer, but I have seen individuals that don't have a computer science degree, and they're very good at managing teams. So basically, engineering management is somebody that is a project manager, has a bunch of software engineers that are, monitoring on what they're doing and what part of the code they're developing. They usually use a lot of agile technologies to manage the whole process of the app and the engineers that are developing the app. And then as an analyst, I guess we were thinking about two things. Software testing, which is, well, you have to break up the app to make sure that, has good user validation, but also from a business point of view, right? We want to develop tech that is actually influencing somebody out there, that has a use case that, if you're working for a company, you have to make sure that this tech is this tech is generating either some type of income or contributing to that company in some aspect. So I guess that's for computer science, but I guess my conclusion is that is an extremely relevant topic to study, and really you have to find a use case, and there's tons of tools for you to use. Thank you.
Thank you, Alejandro. Now I'm going to pass it along to Armani, who's going to be talking about computer engineering.
Thank you, Andreas. Also, thank you, Alejandro. All right, so computer engineering, people usually consider it a combination of computer science and electrical engineering. And starting off with the expectations of computer engineering, people usually think it's just hardware, just messing around with circuits. But like I said, it's also very closely related to computer science. I just want to start off by saying that all of the subfields that Alejandro went through in computer science, they can be they can be held by a computer engineer. So software development, machine learning, all those are different subfields within computer engineering as well. And aside from that, there are also some other ones, such as embedded systems. So for embedded systems, computer engineers work directly with the hardware, and they're integrating the hardware and the software. So they work directly with the circuits that are embedded inside computers themselves that make the computer a whole. They also work with low-level programming languages like C or C++. Drop down in the chat below if you're familiar with C or C++ or any language in general. Also, and they use these languages. There we go, Java as well. Yeah, they also use these languages to manipulate, the ones and zeros, the bits directly. And so some examples could include consumer electronics, the iPhones, and products that we use right now to even like see this presentation, or even in the industrial or automotive spaces. All of these require embedded systems that are crucial to their operation. And then you got computer architecture, Python, there we go. You also have computer architecture. So in this subfield, you're going to be working with digital circuits. You're going to be working with digital circuits such as designing CPUs or memory controls. It essentially boils down to improving the performance of integrated circuits and processors. So whether it be coming up with more efficient computer architecture features, or working on the hardware end, or optimizing code for processors to run parallel tasks. So an example would be maybe all of us have a computer. The CPU may have came from Intel, AMD. They have computer architects that work on those CPUs, and they design them to be as fast and as efficient as possible. Then another subfield is computer vision or computer robotics. So obviously they work with robots, sensors, developing ways of allowing computers to interact and sense the environment. So examples of this may include drones that are used for developing things, or maybe robots that automate tasks such as agriculture or surgeries. So I know that Alejandro touched on natural language processing. That's part of the coding aspect of it. A computer engineer may tie that in with the hardware aspect of it and create one product. Then you have communications, which is another very broad field. So these engineers work with telecommunications, wireless networks, and just the interconnectivity of computers in general. And so they design and maintain these systems. So for example, all of us hop on calls and all that all the time. See you later, that's a good one. All of these are essential. All these are essential services in our world, and the communication sector is the backbone of this. And computer engineers work in these fields to make sure that all of our devices are interconnected. So Alejandro touched on how this pandemic has shown that staying connected is so essential, and just like computer science is so essential in that regard, computer engineering as well, because these not only is the software and the algorithms and everything also essential, but the hardware that is the backbone of these services, they also develop And computer engineers, they have to tie in the software, the coding aspect of it, as well as these circuits, these motherboards that come together and create an awesome service.
All right, thank you so much, Armani. Now we're gonna dive into information technology. And information technology is broad. And it's not just about fixing computers, fixing printers, restarting devices, telling the customers to turn the computer on, off and on again. There's a lot more that comes to that. But even so, starting in IT, you might find yourself within a help desk position, making sure that the customers for whichever company you work for, they are running as efficiently as possible with all their communication and all their technological devices. And for example, for myself, help desk has been my starting point as I finish my degree here, even though I'm looking to go into more of a specialization, which is also possible by graduating and also obtaining some certifications on the side. Um, One of the first few steps to elevate your career within IT is system administration, which is you could consider is a higher level of help desk, but for a sysadmin, it's already on a leadership role side when it comes to for a help desk team. And basically, system administrator, they ensure that the companies that all the technology needs are met all across the board, and that they're responsible for all the systems to be working properly, that no one has any issues. They're constantly monitoring all the users with the company, whether it's small, medium, or large. And they're also taking their time to look at new updates, look at new features, software that might be more beneficent, or more cost effective for the company. And then they'll approach either their IT director or one of their financial directors so that they can do that improvement. Then we have network engineers, and engineers within network and many of these specializations, they tend to have a very specific role, but their hat is they wear many hats throughout their day to day. So even you're gonna see that even if you go through any of this like roles, you might have to do something related to another different field. So it's always good to build that extra knowledge, which is why finishing up your major here, it's a great idea, and you're gonna see later on when you finish the main course requirements that you're gonna dive into different specifications per the major. So a network engineer, they focus on designing and developing all the networks, and they deal with both the software and the hardware. For hardware, you'll see network engineers handling, being hands-on with all the installation and maintenance for the network components, the routers, the switches, and the cables. Um, there's gonna be a lot of physical activity. Surprisingly, you're not gonna be sitting on your desk all day, which is a good thing for a lot of people. On the software side, you're going to be monitoring the network activity and also configuring the network systems using very complex software, or not really complex, depending on the needs for the organization. Within IT, you are also going to find application developers, software engineers, um, again, depending on the need of the company. If it's a small company, their IT team might envelop what is their software engineering team, their networking team, and their customer sales team as well, all doing together. It might be a group of 5 people. A bigger company might have more divided departments, and IT will fall mostly on, like the maintenance and the day-to-day stuff, while they have their software engineering team on the side. And we already spoken a lot about programming, but as you may know, they'll be in charge of web or desktop applications, not only designing them, but also making sure that no bugs are detected or go live. They're also going to make sure that the software is working properly day to day, and making suggestions as well in the event that a new update is needed. Security engineers also falls under the cybersecurity umbrella, and again, it's one specific role title for a role that has a lot of hats. but they're basically in charge of monitoring the security and the data analysis done for any security incidents that might happen, um, let's say under the nose, um, and so that they can prepare and develop a better incident response. Another part of working in security as an engineer is, making suggestions and making sure that the security policies within the company are up to date and that all the employees are following through with that. As you may know, here in FIU, we recently introduced the dual authentication, and originally that was done mostly for staff, even though it's being implemented for students as well for the different FIU platforms that we have. So that is one example of how we implement different policies or different platforms to make the experience more secure. It's a little bit inconvenient sometimes for the end users, but it's way better to have that small inconvenience rather than to put everyone in danger of a security breach. And if you don't really like all the technology side, or you have spent many years already working on the tech aspect of it, you can more towards the business side as a business analyst, or maybe going for a management information systems masters or a certificate. So the business analyst, they'll basically compile data from the company, and they'll use that data to present that to the business people within the organization, and this can be trends of customers, this can be um, policies, or let's say habits of the users, the employees working. And the goal for the business analyst is to make all the business process more smoothly and the most cost effective as possible. They also work with the system administrators from the point of view that they will be involved in the process of reviewing all the technology devices that we have, all the communications, and making suggestions to the directors in case that there's a better way to perform a different process, or have better software for the day-to-day work. Now, as we touch on each of these fields, we wanted to give you guys a little bit more resources on how to go from here, and we prepare a small list of different type of resources that we think they're gonna help you out continuing, let's say, your research, or your curiosity journey to learn more about the fields, more about the roles, and more about what we have to offer, not only us UPE but also FIU in general. So I'm gonna start with talking about some online resources. First of all is LinkedIn Learning. You may know it as Linda from the past. As an FIU student, you have a license that you can use to access the whole library for LinkedIn Learning. So if for some reason you want to learn a little bit more about time management, I know that I have to do that. There's courses for time management that you can attend, and there's usually courses that will last for less than 1 or 2 hours. There's courses on programming, there's courses on different design principles, anything not only involving tech but also business related. You can find a course in LinkedIn Learning to meet your level of knowledge, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced. And also you get the benefit of, as soon as you finish the course, you can add that certificate that you obtained to your LinkedIn profile, which boosts it. It's also going to give you a boost whenever you're trying to look for a specific job, or trying to market yourself a little bit better. YouTube, it's I don't even know how to describe YouTube. There is so much free information, not only on YouTube but also on the internet. It's mind blowing, to this day and age, to have all that much. If even you can go now and write Python course, and you're gonna have Python courses for ages. Just to give you an example. So definitely use this resource, YouTube and LinkedIn Learning, aside from what you're learning in school, just to continue to boost that experience and continue to boost yourself for the career that you want. Udemy is another platform similar to Coursera, where you can find courses that you can pay for, which will give you a more complex learning structure. They'll go deeper into learning different platforms, and usually you can find these courses for a very inexpensive cost. There, to give you an idea, there's a if any of you is interested in learning AWS, going for the system operators or any other AWS certifications, usually there's courses for AWS in Udemy running for like $10, even $5. There's even some that you can find for free. Usually the $10 ones are the ones that give you the certificates that you can add to all your LinkedIn and other pages that you use. And that's just an idea of the online resources that you can find. I'm going to pass it to Alejandro, who's going to talk a little bit more about the engagement side.
Thank you, Andres, for that introduction. I guess if you happen to be here today is already great news. You're engaging with the tech community, and I encourage you that through all the events of UPE you attend, not only because I feel they're great events, but also as you start interacting with people that are part of UPE, you start interacting with a lot of people that are really into the industry. And the type of conversations that you have with them, either is on IT, CE, or CS, you become more knowledgeable about the industry. Something that happens to me, I have debates on how to make a code better with many people within UPE, and I find them very helpful for me. So expanding a little bit more on that, I think going on hackathons for me has been one of the best things that this organization offers, and well, other organization also offers hackathons, but it's definitely an incredible learning experience. You can do hackathons such as Shell Hacks. So if you haven't signed up, you should sign up since September at the end of the month. But also you can do hackathons online. I just did a hackathon last week of PyTorch, and the learning experience was amazing. I think that's something that you shouldn't take for granted. Now, GitHub contributions, it can be GitHub or GitLab. I think you can work on an open source project, but I also recommend you to become very familiar with GitHub. But it's an incredible tool to deploy your code and work with other people that are contributing to a code. I guess for personal projects, for civic involvement, I think it's relevant that you become part of clubs like UPE, but also there are many other clubs that are related with either engineering or tech. I encourage you to, go out and see what this clubs have to offer. So you, again, going to university has a lot to do with the type of people you meet. As of personal projects, this goes hand in hand with hackathons. But I think it's this. Look, we happen to be in a career that I guess, as my colleagues have stated, we can literally create stuff, and we don't need capital. We don't need money to create it. It's just us with the computer, and we can create very, very dope stuff. So I encourage you to actually, you don't have to wait until you happen to be a senior to start creating projects. You can start creating projects today, or even there are many people that are creating already in high school, middle school. So, and I think what I said before in the tech community, it's become involved, right? Ask questions, see how you can become a type of leader within the many deals in UPE or any other clubs. But it wouldn't only make you better within your technical understanding of tech, but it will also put you with good connections that will guide you to have a better path within tech. I'm going to let Andres speak a little bit about the recommended readings.
Thank you, Alejandro. This list of recommended readings is something that we came up with to give you an idea of not only focusing on software development, but also going a little bit more in towards inspiration that you might need from different figures within the tech industry, and also other knowledge that we think is going to be important for you as you move forward with your career. The Cracking the Interview series, it's one of the staples for getting ready and pushing through that imposter syndrome of not thinking that you're ready to get into a career or actual or a job. So as you move forward, as you become more confident in your technical knowledge, definitely consider getting one of these books so that you can get ready for the questions that you're going to be asked within an interview, so that you can ace that and continue moving forward your career. Headfirst Design Patterns. It's one book that I started reading recently, and it's a programming book, but not really focused much on learning programming. It's mostly an intermediate book. It assumes that you have um, the experience already. It's going to teach you a lot about design principles used within the industry. And by design principles, we mean design principles for software development and techniques, and let's say, I'm going to say rules for lack of a better phrase, um, that can make it or break it whenever you are implementing a new software, um, or a new solution to an issue that you're having within the software or the code that you're developing and working on. The Phoenix Project is a book about the life cycle of the software development life cycle. And Innovators is an autobiography about different figures, like I mentioned before, within the tech industry. And this one, though being a little bit more out of there, like I mentioned, it's to give you a little bit more of motivation, more of an insight on how uh, this this characters within the tech industry have come forward and have changed the game so much. And Thinking in Systems, a primer. It's I don't know much about this one. I believe, um, Nas, were you the one that suggested this book by any chance? I'm sorry to put you on the spot.
Uh, yeah. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah.
All right. The book is like really good to kind of There might be some things in there that are a little bit advanced, but a good majority of the book kind of teaches you on the type of mindset to approach. Like, the book tells you to think of things as a system and how to approach different types of systems and etc. It's a really good book to figure out like a nice mindset or have a nice mindset to go into CS.
Thank you, Nas. And that was the content that we have prepared for you guys. Um, of course, we're going to stay here with you in case you have more questions. These are our social media. Make sure to follow us. Make sure to join our Discord as well. Again, a reminder, sign up for Shell Hacks. It's going to be from September 25th to September 27th. Uh, Aside from being part of the hackathon and working on your technical experience, we're going to have a lot of recruiters as well from different companies. So it will also be a great experience for you guys to, try to work on your networking skills. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic situation, it might be a little bit different, but it's also a good starting point to get used to let's say, the new normal. And it's something that will definitely benefit you as you move forward. You'll be able to work in different areas and find new areas of interest. So I hope all of you are up to the challenge. And like I said, if any of you have more questions, feel free to ask us in the chat or unmute. If you want to join the voice chat, let us know.
Um, Andres, could you go to the resources slide? Some people are asking about the books.
Is there any other resource that you guys can personally add to this that is not on this slide?
Uh, I can take this question. So personally, I really like Medium and reading like Medium articles. If you just Google Medium, how to get started in tech, how to get started in X, like how to get started in web development, etc. You'll find really good articles, and they go really in depth about things. I personally would recommend Medium. I believe the site is just medium.com, and then you can search for articles there.
I have more like an opinion to ask if you guys want to hear. So right now I'm a computer science student, but I'm taking like a boot camp in middle of my major. What do you guys think about that?
Ricardo, could you repeat the question again, please?
Yeah, so as right now I'm a computer science junior, computer science, and right now I'm taking a CSS, HTML, and JavaScript boot camp. Do you guys recommend doing that while doing my CS degree, or would be good after doing it?
I don't know if there's anyone else from our team that can answer that, but I don't have any personal experience with boot camps. From what I've seen and I heard, they are uh, very rigorous within the timeline that they have. So depending on the workload that you're going to have from the boot camp, you might have to sacrifice some time outside of school and the boot camp to meet all the requirements to finish both of them. So definitely, depending on the flexibility and the time available that you have, it might be possible for you to finish it. Just take that into consideration. That it might get a little bit more difficult juggling both of them at the same time.
Thank you so much.
What is the name of the book camp?
Ricardo, you might want to consider maybe doing an externship or internship during the summer. Externship, if you're not familiar with it, is when you have a company and you actually go through like a 6 week or maybe however long it is training program, and they teach you these concepts, and it's a great way to learn concepts similar to a boot camp, but it's great because you get affiliated with the company as well. And you can do that over the summer instead of being enrolled in classes and do it at the same time.
Thank you. Yeah, I was planning to do the boot camp right now, and then summer I have the experience to do an internship. But thank you.
I have a question really quick. Do you guys have any like resources on anything like like cybersecurity related? Like any like maybe like books or like any websites related to that?
Give me a second. I know I have something
Yeah, I
for
have some
cybersecurity set
too.
up.
Give me 1 second. Let me try to find the link.
Yeah, I'll double down to that question too.
While you guys are answering that question, I have another one if I can shoot ahead.
By all
Sure.
means.
Yeah, so one of the things I was considering doing this semester was Spark Dev. But with that being said, I do have a lot on my plate apart from that this semester as well. So could you guys who are maybe involved with that, have completed it, or are on the committee, tell me a little bit more about the time commitment involved in it?
I've actually participated in Spark Dev, so I can speak from like being a part of one of the teams. There is a time commitment to it. So, but it really depends on the team because I know that different teams meet at different times. So I got lucky and it was really convenient. A timing worked for me. But I believe we have Yusuf in the call. He's actually the director of SparkDev. He can actually answer that question more in detail.
Yeah, he said he was
Yusuf,
connecting from audio.
yeah.
That was my main concern because, like, I know it would be a super useful thing for me to do, but with that being said, I wasn't sure if this semester is the right one or not because I don't want to be doing everything, but then also doing nothing in all the different things that I'm doing.
Um, it's a valid concern. I can I can definitely tell you though, it's it's really dependent on you. If you feel like you can take tackle it on along with whatever you have going on, do mean by all means, but you gotta like really make that decision for yourself.
Yeah. I also did Spark Dev, and I was on the web development team. Everything was really flexible. I think we met like twice a week, and it didn't conflict with my schedule or anything. So I also got lucky. But it depends on you and how much work you actually put into it.
Hey, Azim.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good, and you?
I'm good. I'm good. Is this Yusuf?
Yes, sir.
All right.
We know each other. You're part of Startup FIU, right?
Correct. We have met.
Yeah. Awesome, man. So, are you planning to? Sorry, I didn't hear what you guys were saying because I was connecting audio. I have a problem with my PC, but I believe that you are planning to join SparkDev.
Yeah. So, long question short, what is the time commitment involved? That's my only concern.
Okay. So all the teams they will meet twice a week for 2 hours each meeting. So if you think that you can commit to that,
Uh-huh.
then yeah, if you want, you can join SparkDev. And if you think that you can make that commitment for this semester, there are also other UP programs that are open. And the good thing about UP is that whatever program you join, you're guaranteed to learn. So that's good. It also depends on how you like to learn. So for example, if you are the type of person that likes to build projects and learn that way, then SparkDev would be, the best choice. But if you are kind of like the type of person that really likes to see somebody explaining things to you, um, other programs might be better, such as Code, Infotech, Make, depending on what you want to do. But yeah, I mean, SparkDev is really good. We have like a big community and we have a lot of projects. So if you want and you can make the commitment, yeah, definitely, we're more than happy to have you on the team.
That's awesome, man. And it's a good point you make about the kind of learning. The reason why I'm considering Spark Dev is because I'm more of a hands-on kind of person who learns more from projects and things that I actually do. So
Yeah,
I
don't
know
get
this,
me wrong. I mean,
yeah.
the good thing about, for example, code workshops, which I've attended in the past, is that you'll do the workshop and it's kind of like active learning because you'll do the thing while the person that's given the workshop is doing it as well. So the thing is that SparkDev, it's a 9-week program, and it's not like your team lead will try to do the best to explain things to you if you, let's say, don't grasp the topic at first glance, or you are not too familiar with the frameworks or the programming languages that the team is using. But it's more of like you try to discover by yourself how to do the stuff. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yep.
Cool.
Awesome, man. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. If you have any other questions, are you on the Discord chat?
Yes,
Discord.
I am.
Okay, yeah. Feel free to ping me or
Right.
anybody in the media, and we'll be more than happy to answer your questions.
Sounds good.
Yes, go ahead, Jose.
Yes, I have a question. You guys mentioned at the beginning about the imposter syndrome. I think I definitely have that right now.
Welcome to the club.
I'm thinking about going look for some sort of internship, but I feel just taking two programming classes so far, and right now, and taking right now data structures. Starting right now, I don't know if I have the skills to actually go and look for a some sort of internship. Um, I'm trying to go through to the route of cybersecurity. I don't know if by just taking two programming classes and data structures, would that be enough? What do you guys think?
So which programming classes are you taking currently? Are they Java or Python?
Well, the ones that I've taking programming one and two, have been both dealing with Java.
Oh, okay. So really it depends on the internship and the requirements. For the most part, I'd say try also looking into Python if you're able to, and try to get a little bit familiar with Kali and Linux, especially Linux.
Yeah,
Um,
I actually been playing with Kali for the last couple of months.
okay, that's good. I mean, you can always shoot your shot. Again, it really depends on the requirements of the internship. Sometimes it's like beginner level, sometimes they ask for a lot. But as long as you show that you're interested in learning more and that you're already like on the track and letting them know that like, yeah, no, I've been working on Kali for, a few months now, and this is what I know so far, I'm looking to expand more on that. So as long as you show that you're willing to learn more in that, you know, they'll probably accept you. No promises because it depends, but at least you're on the right track.
All right, thank you. I'm gonna start looking for internships right now.
Sounds
And
good.
just another point to kind of tackle imposter syndrome is if you find something in your case you really enjoy cybersecurity and you're interested in it, when you go off on your own, aside from classes, research into it, work on a cool project, and kind of build that experience in a side project, it'll really help and show when it comes to looking for those internships. And not only that, but also build your confidence, and slowly, the feeling of imposter syndrome goes away the moment you start uh, like going deep diving into it, researching it, putting a lot of practice into it, etc.
Thank you.
I also wanted to add, I'm not sure if you're a part of UP Infotech, but they talk a lot about like security and stuff. And I think if you join their program, they're doing like a Network Plus kind of thing to like prep you for it, so you can take the course. Or sorry, so you can take the certification. I would look into that too as well if you want to be part of a program.
Okay, that'll be great. That hopefully can help me out also, uh, find some projects to do. I haven't done any of those.
Yeah, it's a good place to start
All right,
getting
thank you.
certifications and stuff. No problem.
Also, definitely look into the Red Hat certifications, uh, and also there's the Company Security Plus too, which can give you that boost to when you're applying and interviewing for different internships.
Thank you. Yes, I've been looking for those certifications.
And just to get back to Alex for your question, I don't know if you were able to check the chat. I would definitely guide you to go and check Nullbyte's YouTube channel for more of cybersecurity stuff. We have a couple more minutes before we end the event, so Again, we welcome you guys. If you have any more questions, can hit us in the chat, or if you want to unmute yourself, let us know.
Um, I saw a couple of questions that kind of related into um, recommendations on how to start. If you're a freshman, one of the cool things, and I kind of wish I did this, but then again, a lot of this didn't really exist when I was a freshman. Is you can try out like one semester, be committed to code, then the next semester, you can try out infotech or make, and if you see that you enjoy hardware more, you can start from there and then deep dive from there. Um, or if you're interested in or if you're interested in code, likewise, you can stay committed to like the code program and then start researching different things within code that you learned by participating in the program, like web dev and etc. And having that starting point helps out a lot in finding what you're really interested in. um, the gist is that if there like you will it takes a lot of it takes a lot of how can I put this, a lot of us like personal research to see what is it that you enjoy. If you're someone that enjoys making applications, web dev, mobile dev will be nice for you. If you enjoy cybersecurity or IoT, etc., then um, the make program will be perfect for you, and you can um, learn like the different types of things through the make program, etc. So really researching what you're interested in and then finding a program within UP that you really like, it helps out a tons.
Oh, hello. I have a quick question about something you guys mentioned earlier about LinkedIn Learning. So usually it's paid, but it's free if you're a student, right?
Yeah. So as an FIU student, um, you can use your credentials to access LinkedIn Learning. The first time that you go in, you're gonna see that it's gonna the webpage is gonna take you to the FIU login page, and from there it's gonna ask you to create your LinkedIn Learning profile with your FIU information.
Nice. Okay. And if you complete the course, you said that you can get like you can put it on your LinkedIn profile and it'll give you like a boost.
Yeah, so make sure that you have your LinkedIn profile if you haven't created it yet, or if you have it created, make sure that you linked it, you do the link with the learning platform, so that as soon as you finish any course, you're gonna get a certificate that is gonna show on your profile. And when I mentioned boost, I meant that this is something that's gonna be appearing publicly to recruiters within LinkedIn, and they're gonna have an idea of the knowledge that you possess. So if you're looking into, let's say, cybersecurity, and you're open for cybersecurity companies, or the teams that are recruiting entry-level positions, and they see that you have completed some of the courses in LinkedIn, maybe you have a certificate as well, they see that you're doing your education with the focus on cybersecurity, they're going to reach out to you, and they're going to tell you about the opportunities that they're going to have. Same way that you can use that to promote yourself as you reach out to the recruiters yourself, or as you go ahead and apply for different positions.
Okay, then would that also apply to if I've taken other courses like on Udemy? Could I do the same, or is it just better for LinkedIn Learning courses to put it on my profile?
I
I
believe, although, sorry.
No, go ahead, go ahead. I
Yeah.
just wanted to say something real quick, but no, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that I believe that for Udemy and other platforms, you get the certificate. you can have the certificate as a PDF and upload it to your LinkedIn profile. But at this one, I believe they might have a feature to link to send them directly to your profile.
Okay, got it. Thank you. I think someone else was gonna
Yeah, I
say
think it was
something about my
Joseph.
question.
Yeah, I just wanted to add something. LinkedIn Learning is an amazing resource. It actually helped me for one of my classes. So definitely something worth taking a look at. And yeah, the good thing is that since it's with LinkedIn, like be sure to set up your LinkedIn account if you don't have one, because you'll get like all the certifications and you can, it's from LinkedIn, like same place. So it's kind of like better, I would say, than Udemy, because as Alejandro, right? Or the person that was just talking before,
Oh, me?
Andres. Sorry,
Yeah,
Andres. My bad.
that's okay.
As he mentioned before, instead of like a PDF, you'll get like kind of like a badge from LinkedIn Learning. Also, don't get me wrong, Udemy is also like a really good resource. But since LinkedIn Learning is free for FIU students, I would prefer that one, like in my opinion. But definitely, like both are really good. LinkedIn Learning is amazing. Like as I said, it actually helped me with a class. So and you can find anything, not only programming, but entrepreneurship, cooking, whatever you name it.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
I'd like to mention that I just logged into LinkedIn Learning and it had already my profile, I guess, because I have LinkedIn, and it's showing me a bunch of cybersecurity courses to take.
Yo, it's listening to you.
I know, big brother.
Hey guys, real quick, just wanted to mention, if you're looking for internships or job opportunities, to check out the opportunities section on our Discord. Usually that's where me and other people will be posting opportunities that we find.
Thank you.
No problem. Are there any other questions you guys got? There is still 30 people here. That's kind of crazy. Any other questions?
If you applied for more than one, like UP, Code, Make, and like another one, and they send you emails, if you could only like attend one of them, do you need to email them back saying that you'll only be like a part of one, or?
You could do that. If you really can't commit to all of the programs, yeah, make sure to contact them if you really can't attend to them.
Okay, but I saw the days for them were the same. Would they be having them on like different weeks, or would it be every week on those days?
Which days? What are you referring to?
Like Make and Infotech and Code, they were all on a Tuesday and Thursday, I think, at a certain time, but they clashed. So I didn't know if they would be on separate weeks or.
Oh, for their orientations?
Well,
Oh, no, I think he's talking about the meetings with Make and Infotech, because I also noticed that they said they would both be having them on Wednesday and Friday at like I think the same exact time.
At the same time?
I've changed it. It's Tuesday, Thursday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So for Infotech, Tuesday and Thursday?
Yeah, it would be Tuesday, Thursdays from 5 to 6. That's the certification prep,
Okay.
which is the main thing that we're doing internally, among other events that we will have.
Most events shouldn't clash, so like.
Also, the
I think,
application's closing today for me, so apply.
Is there any courses for Infotech or any, I guess, um, opportunities to meet up and speak after a certain time, like let's say after 6 or 7 in the afternoon or night?
What do you mean? Like,
Well, like those meetings that that you had for that you just mentioned are from 5 to 6. I
Mhm.
usually don't get out of work until like 6:37.
Right.
Yeah, Monday through Friday.
Mhm.
Um, so any opportunity, maybe weekends or like after hours.
I mean, dude, you can talk to me literally whenever.
All right.
I'm always online on Discord like the whole day, every day. I mean, granted, every now and again I'm in class, but I'm always paying attention to what people send. So if you have any questions about anything at all, like ask me. And also in terms of the Network Plus certification prep thing, we're gonna provide possibly a recording after each session. So if you miss it, you'll be able to catch up on stuff if you're interested in being a part of that.
Oh,
But
that's
yeah.
great. That's
Mhm.
great. Thank you.
Yep.
So for the deadlines, let me get you the website really quick. Hold on. Okay, so the link that I provided, that's where you can pretty much apply for a program, and on there it shows which programs already closed and which ones are still open. So I believe that, yeah, Infotech does close today. And tomorrow will be UPE Make and UPE Spark Dev. So, yeah.
Just really quickly, I don't know if this has already been covered, but I was still trying to get access at the beginning of the Zoom meeting. Is there a way that you guys could kind of just summarize the difference between the programs and kind of what they're focused on? Because I was directed to Infotech after expressing that I wanted to do ethical hacking, but is there like a, yeah, can someone just break that down really quickly?
You mean specifically for cybersecurity or just like in general for all three fields?
Um, I think obviously it's my question, so obviously I'm more interested in cybersecurity, but maybe someone else might be also interested in it. I just want to know like what the programs, what do they actually entail for, a student who's actually looking to go into the field.
Got it.
I mean, that's
So,
mostly Infotech's domain, which I'm the director of.
Okay.
So that's generally what we do. I mean, that's not the only thing that we do. It's not just cybersecurity. We specialize in anything related to like information technology, and we also cover some DevOps technologies as well. But this semester, it's not as in depth in terms of cybersecurity. Right now we have coming up a Linux workshop, so that's definitely related. I mean, if you're going to get into cybersecurity, you have to know Linux. And another one later on is malware analysis, which is also related in that regard. But ethical hacking, I intend to do next semester as more of like a focus on that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
For the other programs, UPE Make mainly deals with hardware. So learn about different hardwares and machines. Sometimes they, well, since it's going to be online, talk about like Raspberry Pis and what they do, the functions. Infotech, you already heard. For UPE Ignite, that deals with teaching computer science to students. So not to students, sorry, to young children, like in elementary school, which is really cool. Then there's Spark
Okay.
Dev, where you can pretty much, you're going through weeks with a group to create something, create a project. So I mentioned in the chat that there are a lot of cool projects that have come out of Spark Dev. UP Mentor is where you can either sign up to be a mentor or sign up to be a mentee, where you can either mentor someone who is either a freshman or a sophomore, or if you're like a freshman or sophomore yourself, you can be paired with a mentor who can kind of like guide you. It doesn't have to just be with like if you're in CS, IT, or computer engineering. It could be kind of in any major, and they'll kind of guide you through like any questions you might have, like even with FIU in general. UP Discover deals more with undergraduate research. So if there's like, they have specific teams, I don't remember them off the top of my head right now, but basically doing research and trying to like kind of crack some ideas and breakthroughs. And UPE, I feel like I missed, UPE Code deals with basically coding. So they're going to have like, there's actually one tomorrow. They're going to have a workshop where, I forgot, where they're gonna, which one is it? They're going to be having like a coding workshop that you can attend. They're going to be having those pretty much throughout the semester. And I don't think I missed any other program. If I did, let me know. Anyone can interject. But yeah, tomorrow they're going to be having a web development workshop if you want to attend. It's going to be at 6.
Sorry,
Yeah,
wasn't that workshop actually on Friday, I think?
The workshop is
Oh,
on
is today
Friday.
Wednesday? I'm so sorry. Yeah, it's going to be on Friday. I thought today was Thursday. Yeah, so it's going to be on Friday, September 4th at 6, if you guys want to attend that as well. You can sign up. It's on our website too. And you can like RSVP through there, and then you'll get the Zoom link. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thank you, guys.
Also, if you're like curious about like what different team on SparkDev do, on our like UPE Instagram, we have like different videos of different teams demo on the project that they did for last semester. So you might want to check that out if you're curious about like different teams on SparkDev.
All right, are there any other questions, concerns, thoughts?
Very good, thank you.
No problem.
Thank you guys for your help. You have a good day.
You too.
And to you. All right, guys. So with that, we're gonna be closing down. Thank you all for coming. And again,